Well, that's not very nice.
Of course not! I'm f***ing evil!
The character of Kratos is a character ruined by its own devs, sorta inevitable with the series changing the director every game. Every director has a different sight, different perspective on how he wants Kratos to work. A story is written from the start, sure, but the director heavily influences how the protagonist works and how his ambitions are set. The subject of today's video is to explain how Kratos' character was destroyed. To be more direct, destroyed by the time we reached God of War 3. I will also explain why this happened and why did Santa Monica did this at the end of the video. With that being said, let's go through a very brief review of Kratos' story and how he came up to the world. He was a Spartan, keyword general, who wanted to conquer. Man loved the battle, and he was a loving husband and father. One day, he's about to get the orb beat out of him by Alric until he screams for Ares' rescue. Ares comes down, destroys his enemies, and Kratos' life was Ares. A lot of the letter S, I know. Just Greek things. Kratos becomes his champion and he keeps on fighting more and more with his brand new weapons, the Blades of Chaos. One night they're raiding a village out in Athens. They blaze through the place and there's a house that Kratos enters, slaughters everyone, kills his own family. Tragic, I know. But wait, it gets fuckier. Did you forget this is a Greek tragedy? Turns out Ares put Kratos' family, Lysandra and Calliope. Okay, I know it's Calliope, shut up. Now why did Ares do this? Ares wanted to make him a great warrior. You absolute idiot. I see the logic behind it. Take away his family and he has nothing to lose. Not like he's gonna get mad one day and Ragnarok this pantheon out of existence, right? Right? Kratos is shattered at this moment. Tries all the weed, hoes and clothes, but nothing works. Nothing will make him forget what he did. Not even the gods are willing to do that for him, even after 10 years of service. One day, he snaps and calls for Athena. She tells him that there is one more favor that they ask of him, and it's to no-scope the god of war out of existence. This is what Kratos has to say.
And if I am able to do this, to kill a god, then the visions, they will end?
Now tell me, did you notice him say anything vengeful about Ares? I sure fucking didn't. The feel of revenge is in there, sure, but what's overshadowing it is the sheer sadness in his heart. He just wants the visions to be
gone, fuck!
Sets out on a trip, and during this entire time, you will never hear him shout like "Zeus!" Even at the end when his family is killed by his own weapons, again, right in front of him, he's just a broken man. Look at him. Listen!
Oh, not again.
The entirety of the game is just showing you Kratos and how sad he is. Look at this cutscene when he reaches Athena's statue in the deserts of lost souls.
The oracle spoke of Pandora's box. Can it be real? And with such a weapon, I could defeat Ares.
No big and grand vengeance sound and scream, just a broken man that wants to rest. Come the next game, we have this Kratos.
Athena! You conspire against me!
Now, this is a very different Kratos than what we know, but we'll touch on how this got kinda remedied with a game that came out for the handheld console. Let's continue. This is fine. Most of all, this is justifiable. Hell, he lost the last Spartan here. He killed him with his own hands by an accident again. Come on now. God of War 2 did drastically change his character, but it was still good. At the start, he was just your average cocky edgelord, just killing and banging and lifting. But God of War 2 still had a beautiful theme, and it was ambition and hope. You go through the world and you realize how everyone has a goal, and Kratos is a competitor just like them. They're all aiming for the Sisters of Fate, and he, just like everyone else, just wants to change his fate. It's just a nicely developed story of everyone aiming for the same goal, and Kratos just one of the competitors again amongst them, and he's just among us until he declares Greek Narok at the end of the game.
If all on Olympus would deny me my vengeance, then all on Olympus will die.
Now, all this rage throughout this entire game and this kind of edginess did get kind of remedied thanks to Ghost of Sparta that came out on a handheld. In that game, Kratos is still a normal guy who wants to sleep, but he's the God of War here. Ready at Dawn really made his rage at the start of God of War 2 and throughout justifiable. Kratos loses his brother in the game, and throughout, he comes to know how shitty the gods are and how they ruined his upcoming even when he was a child. They took away his brother, Zeus banged his mother. No, not Call of Duty lobby style, no, just like literally he's his father. We don't know about Deimos, but that's a conversation for another day. We don't know if he's truly Zeus' son as well. Imagine, Deimos, Zeus' son. So we still had some humanity in this character. Until one day, the man, the legend, not the myth, because he's not dead, decides...
If all on Olympus will deny me my vengeance, then all on Olympus will die.
Ah, yeah. This is where the character turns into the villain you know him now as the God of War 3 Kratos that I'm talking about today. This is not the same Kratos you know. His vengeance from the second game turned into bloodlust. It's almost like, and my god, this is gonna sound weird. It's almost like he gets turned on by killing stuff. Yes, we're playing as a serial killer. This gets people talking about how he's a misogynistic and how he eliminates Poseidon's slave in cold blood, but you're missing the point. He fucking hates everyone equally. The first one I want to talk about is none other than Poseidon, the literal starting boss that you fight. Now I have a very fair and big question. Why the freaky control freaks did you decide to cosplay as my dad beating me up because I got C average in science test? Why all this brutality against Poseidon? Why all this hate? My god, look at this man! Like he's scary! I'm pausing this frame for way longer than I should, but I feel like I should keep it up just to make you uncomfortable. This. Why? Ask yourself, young man. Why? What did Poseidon do? Protect the mountain that he's supposed to protect? You want him to simply let the Titans take over after all of the Great War and what have you? All the stuff they went through, all the battles. And besides all that, Zeus is his brother, so he has to defend Olympia. It would have truly been enough to just leave the man down. Why even BDSM destroy his ass like that? You don't need to. I'ma be frank with you, man. You do not need to. The man is beaten. There is absolutely no reason to have this much hate for this guy. You've known and beat up the man for about 10 minutes. Why? Why are you hating him so much? Okay, so let me get this straight. With all the insides of your heart, you wanted to leave Hercules out of this, right? Hercules stood in your way. Don't get me wrong. Hercules was an asshole, but did you have to go to the basement? Open up the floor to the basement using the man's head? Now, these symptoms of a rageful, vengeful, fuckful Spartan were already set in God of War 2. They just didn't develop into that game completely. He was at least justified in God of War 2. Zeus kills him at the start, kills all of his army. Kratos wants revenge, goes to change his fate, makes it to the Temple of the Fates, and after all of that, even after the sisters themselves, they led him there. After all that, they give him shit. Rightfully and in a well-deserved manner, the sisters
Get what you fucking deserve!
see? Simple stuff. You lead a warrior this far to change his fate, then he makes it there and you start fucking threatening him? This is what you get. Then we get Zeus. Kratos is perfectly justifiable for trying to kill him. The guy killed him at the start of the game, killed all his followers, the Spartans, destroyed Sparta in fear of another warrior rising up and becoming as strong as Kratos, cursed his mother to never expose his ass. Sounds fucking right to me. That's a face you want to kill. But to go out and fist every single entity in the block is never the way to go. And I'm not sorry for telling you this. Now, this is extremely wrong when the game tries to make us feel for him.
I knew you'd come back.
Did you watch me just kill that woman in order to get here?
Something. He's close.
She did nothing wrong.
Just tell me how
It
to
was
find
epic.
you.
The labyrinth. Find the labyrinth.
I didn't just kill her, like, I mutilated her.
If you're going with the villain route, which trust me, fuck it, I'm fine. I like to play as a villain, right? But there are two problems that you have here. First, the guy is not supposed to be the villain. He's given the title of a classic Greek hero. Like, have you seen what he went through in God of War 1? My god, who wrote this story? And second, you do not make him do all the heinous war crimes that he does, and then try to reclaim him like that at the end with Pandora. I'm pulling out my hair. It does not work like that. It shouldn't work like that. There was this community post that I saw a while back by YouTube, bruh, and I started thinking about it, and honestly, yeah. As a standalone game, God of War 3 is better than having it being a follow-up to God of War 2. 2. This is a whole different Kratos. Sure, if it comes after God of War 2, the hype is there when you know what's happened before and stuff, but in the process, you're kind of sacrificing continuity. He did declare this war in God of War 2, but you didn't have to actually make him claw out Poseidon's eyes and make... Why? What? In a mid to perfect world, this would be a better trilogy if you're looking for consistency. Say, which one is better? A story where you start playing as the villain that destroys the world and then that villain reclaims himself off screen, I don't fucking love novels, and starts doing shit for the greater good, or a story that sets itself up perfectly and fucks up everything and throws everything out the window just to please the hype of reviewers and game journals. There. Right fucking there. Game journalists. What can be in the wrong as well? Santa Monica for feeding into the hype. This is what you get when you swap between directors from a game to another game. You get inconsistencies in characters and the story when you swap directors like that. Kratos was never a guy that screams at the top of his lungs. Screaming, cutting, destroying, and decapitating. Never want to do heinous shit unless it's for a reasonable goal that he's hunting for. Keyword, reasonable. Let's compare. Him deleting this guy's life was for a greater good. This translator, other than the section being hot garbage for gameplay, the guy's fate is to die in this day. It is his day. He's supposed to read this and die. This is sounds fair to me. I would die for Kratos. And again, for Kratos' ambitions. It is a fairly simple goal. Reach the sisters. In here, you really... Now, I'm sorry to announce this, but you really did not need to hold this wheel using this Barbie girl. I know, right, Kratos? Crazy. You legitimately did not need to rip Helios' head off. You did not have to burn Tony. You did not have to do this to Hercules, especially this to Poseidon. Hermes was beaten. Why cut off his legs? I know he was annoying, but God, did you... Oh my God. What if them Jordans were fake? What then? You cut off his legs. You gonna put them back? And this scene right here? Wait, so you know Pandora and she's that close to you? Okay, even though you need her to just, for your own benefit, to just open the box, but okay, you do not accept shit from Hera. Fine. This might be fine to some extent, even though she's just a drunk old MILF, but you do you. Now, I get what everyone's gonna say in the comments. Bro, Gaia was the last straw. He had his last teeny bits of faith in her and she betrayed him, so now he trusts no one. No. No. Keep it to yourself. He was this bad before Gaia did her thing, so... None of that. Literally none of that. And besides, let's see. How many people truly betrayed Kratos for him to have this last straw moment that you speak of? Ares and... Zeus? That's it? So, Gaia turning on him meant no more trust in no one? Then why didn't he kill Hephaestus on sight? See? You mean to tell me he couldn't simply get across without doing this? The man is deranged. There's nothing to this character except some Asura's Wrath syndrome. Just make him scream all the time, which trust me, it's hype as fuck, but doing it this many times and having that rage and hype overshadow the true character of Kratos, that is what I do not accept. Just felt like ranting for a bit today. Santa Maniac is known for feeding into the hype in a lot more cases as well, one of them being the entire formula change that we all experienced in 2016 for God of War 2018. Yeah, it got revealed in 2016, I'm not stupid. But that's a story for another day. Point is, Kratos was never this monster, and all these awesome videos explaining how Kratos was always a deep character are great and all, but Santa Maniac dug its own grave by feeding into the hype of game journals saying, "Yo, the rage is so cool and vengeful, look at him screaming!" There's not a single moment in God of War 1 where Kratos shouts this hard. Literally none. This could have been our Greek bold hero with a story almost as good as Guts, believe it or not. If they knew how to not kick a dead horse. Because when you feed into the hype, see what happens for yourself. The character got tarnished at the end of God of War 2 with this declaration of war. And then he completely turned bonkers in God of War 3. All you had to do was to make him regret his decision at the end of God of War 2 and make him go another route of the good route near the start of God of War 3 instead of at the end after he brutally destroyed an entire pantheon. Literally everyone has the right to shit on my favorite character in gaming. My canon ending is still God of War 1. Fuck this.